अस्सलाम वालेकुम। प्रोग्राम एम्बेसी रोड में खुश आमदीद। नाजरीन, आज इस प्रोग्राम में हमारे मेहमान हैं पाकिस्तान में बोस्निया हर्ज़ेगोविना के सफ़ीर जनाब नदीम मकरविच, और उनसे हम बात करेंगे पाकिस्तान और बोस्निया के ताल्लुकात के हवाले से। पाकिस्तान और बोस्निया के दरमियान एक बड़ा जज्बाती रिश्ता भी है, क्योंकि पाकिस्तान ने हमेशा बोस्निया की आज़ादी और ख़ुद मुख्तारी को सपोर्ट किया, इसकी हमायत की। और उन दिनों में जबकि बोस्निया हर्ज़ेगोविना अपनी आज़ादी की जदोजहद कर रहा था, पाकिस्तानी कौम ने, पाकिस्तान के लोगों ने और उस वक्त की पाकिस्तान की हुकूमत ने इनका भरपूर साथ दिया। सफारती सतह पर, सियासी सतह पर, अखलाकी सतह पर इनकी बड़ी हमायत की। आज के प्रोग्राम में हम सफ़ीर साहब से पूछेंगे कि पाकिस्तान और बोस्निया के ताल्लुकात इस वक्त कैसे हैं और इन ताल्लुकात को किस तरह वे फ़रोग़ देना चाहते हैं और आगे इनमें किस तरह की तोसी चाहते हैं, और मुस्तक़बिल में हमारे ताल्लुकात की नौइयत क्या होगी। यही हमारा आज का मौजू है। Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us in this program.
Thank you.
You have passed, your nation has passed through a turmoil, through a very difficult period. How does your nation feel now? Are they out of that psychological trauma? And you know, they have suffered a lot.
So it's not possible not to have any impacts of that horror. So it's not just about how we suffer because of ethnic cleansing. It's genocide. We've been through the genocide, and the scars are deep. But we must live and carry on. So the scars are there.
Master, how is your relationship with your neighbors? You know, particularly Serbia and other countries. You were subjected, as you said, to genocide. And you were subjected to ruthless torture during those periods, that period. And how do you feel now? Are you comfortable with your neighbors, with your former tormentors? Are you now happy with them? You have comfortable relations with them?
With Croatia and Montenegro, definitely yes. With Serbia, the bilateral relations need to be approved, so we are achieving improvement, but there are still open questions which we need to solve. So, but we are on the right path, I believe. I'm quite optimistic about that.
What questions do you want to be solved in the context of your relations with Serbia?
So we tried to get in the past verdict against Serbia because of aggression. Unfortunately, the court in Hague refused that process, so we don't have a verdict. And from that point of view, Serbia didn't pay us any war damages caused by their army, or they still didn't legitimately, on the proper way, admit the genocide in Srebrenica. So those would be the two big things which are open. There are also lots of issue. If we speak about our second smaller entity in Bosnia, so-called Republika Srpska, so they have we have a feeling that they interfere in our politics from time to time. That should be also improved, and that should be also changed.
But the Hague Court, the International Court of Justice, meted out punishment to certain military rulers of Serbia who were responsible for this genocide and mass killings in your country, Bosnia-Herzegovina. Are you satisfied with what the court has done, or what punishment that has been given to these people?
What should I say? It's better than nothing, but I'm certainly not, because we have, first of all, we had a huge process against Slobodan Milosevic. Unfortunately, he died before the process has been ended. it's a pity. It's also it contributed to not to have a proper verdict against Serbia. Obviously, the cases of war criminals, which has been accused and judged with the powers of the Court of The Hague, it didn't help. It wasn't sufficient to have a crucial verdict against Serbia. So they are separated cases which are contribute to the whole situation of accusing Serbia for aggression, but unfortunately it wasn't sufficient.
But now that yes, the punishment has been meted out, but you are saying that it's not enough and it's not satisfying for you, and you still pursue the case, and you still want the court to move forward or take mete out or give stern punishment, strong punishment to those people responsible for the genocide of Bosnians.
So I believe, at least in the case of accusing the Serbia as a state for aggression, our government will go again and try to get the justice in The Hague.
Your country, after winning independence and becoming a sovereign state, feel that it is now fully sovereign and is not being dictated by outside powers, and you don't feel the pressure that on your country, on the formulation of the policies that you follow. You think that now it is a truly sovereign country?
I don't know, sir. I can also ask you, do you think that Pakistan is truly sovereign country? I mean, yes and no. Yes, in the sense, of course, we are a sovereign country. We have our government, we have our army. But we still have, for example, a high representative, which can put a veto or do the certain decisions by his own. So it shows that the Bosnia, it's wanted that Bosnia has a supervision from outside, which is for the time being maybe also not that bad. If they would really follow the path of achieving more stronger Bosnia and clarify the open issues which we have especially with the Serbian side.
Is it because Bosnia-Herzegovina is economically weak or politically not very stable, or what's the reason for this feeling?
For this feeling, I mean, as I said, there are certain origins of the higher politics, like a high representative, OHR, from the world community, which are supervising us, our government, in some sort of supervising. Now, it's not clear defined what are they supposed to do and what not. There are certain cases where we were sure they will interfere and they didn't, and there are certain cases where we didn't expect that they will interfere and they did. So it's not 100% clear that they share our view, that we have a common view about the political constitution and political life of Bosnia, but they are officially supporting us in our way to the European Union, to the NATO. So there are supervision. From one side, we are sovereign, and we have a power in our hands. From the other side, this power can be interfered. So if you speak about economical situation, is this because we are weak? I mean, we are 4 million people, not even in Bosnia. It's a small country. We have around about 52,000 square kilometers. If you compare it with Pakistan, you have 804,000 square kilometers. It's a small country. you cannot expect wonders in the sense of economics. But from other ways, beautiful Dolly state, geostrategically very important, and since ancient times, the biggest empires tried to conquer that territory and to have the control over Balkan and that part of Europe. So.
Do you fear that some big powers can again try to balkanize this region, or they can come again to have their supremacy in this region because of their geostrategic interests?
So what should I say? I mean, if you ask me privately, I'm open for all kind of possible scenarios. If you go back to the '92, like February, March, most of the people in Bosnia they didn't believe
imagine
that there will be war, and if they would imagine that there will be war, then not so long, and if so long, then not so cruel. But it did happen. So I'm open. I would not say no. So there could be few scenarios. You see what happened in Crimea. It wasn't also 2 years back. Nobody could imagine it, but now it's reality.
The Americans played a role there, to bring about peace, and an agreement was reached there through the American efforts, through international diplomacy. How's your relationship with the United States of America and other big powers? Do they support the sovereignty and independence of Bosnia and Herzegovina? And they're also supporting you to rejuvenate or rebuild your economy so that, the fruits of independence reach every citizen of your country?
As for independency, I believe there is no sufficient country in this world which has a different position as to admit our independence and to verbally to support us. As for U.S., yes, they played positive role. They started NATO attacks in the summer '95 against the logistical targets of Serbia. Bosnian Serbs, their telecommunications centers, their supply routes. As for, of course, for GNH, Yugoslavian Army, which has been mutated to the purely Serbian army. So with their help, we could initiate very strong offensive against the targets from August '95 till end of November '95. In those few months, we conquered back most of the territory of Bosnia and Herzegovina, and that was with the help of U.S. artillery.
You mentioned that you have good relations with Croatia and other countries of Europe. So your relations with European neighbor, who are also members of the European Union, are they improving and they are stable, and you think that they will further improve in the days to come?
Yes, they are. For example, we don't need to travel in Europe. We don't need. We can travel freely in Europe.
No visas.
There is no visa acquired for a certain time. There is also a very pure and clear agenda to become a member of European Union. Though we have from another side issue again that we have a Serbian part of parliament, and they seems to block all the initiatives where we can improve more faster on that path. Probably the goal is to wait for Serbia to become a member of European Union. Probably, I say. So It's a struggle. It's not easy, but they are on daily basis. There are successes in Bosnia and Herzegovina as a state, so economically and politically. So we need to carry on with our.
Thank you, Ambassador. We'll have to take a short break here and then we'll come back and discuss more issues. नाज़रीन, एक मुख्तसर सी ब्रेक लेते हैं. ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम पाकिस्तान में बोस्निया के सफ़ीर से पाकिस्तान और बोस्निया के ताल्लुकात के हवाले से और इन ताल्लुकात की मुस्तक़बिल में क्या नौइयत होगी, इनमें कैसे वसअत पैदा की जा सकती है, इस पे बात करेंगे. Welcome back. Ambassador, you have been here as Ambassador of Bosnia. How do you look at Pakistan-Bosnia relationship at this moment, at this point in time?
We have great bilateral relations since beginning, and I cannot recall on any small issues between us when we speak about political matters. What we need to improve and what is, from my point of view, not efficient and not good enough is bilateral trading. So our import-export figures are not sufficient, and we need to improve. That's actually one of my main goals in my mandate. In the next 3 years.
To improve the trade relations between the two countries.
To improve the trade relations, to increase it on all levels. It's not just about trade, it's also about education and culture exchange. But mainly we should put effort in the direction trading because there are lots of synergy effects which can be achieved between our two nations. I give you, for example, following scenario. You are very good in textile industry and leather industry. You have problem with your quotas to export whom you want, how much you want. So you've been like a bit stopped on that path. Bosnia is since we are post-war country, we don't have any quotas in sense of exporting our articles, so we can freely export to the European Union. Now imagine the following scenario: a Pakistani businessman open his facilities in Bosnia and Herzegovina, import his own unfinished products from Pakistan, finish it in Bosnia and label it as made in Bosnia. He can freely export to the Europe. So it's a very huge possibility and advantage. And until now, it wasn't considered as a serious possibility from the Pakistani side. We have, for example, the Indian businessman, Mr. Mittal, he invested hundreds and hundreds of millions.
Mittal of steel fame.
Yes. So he privatized, he bought our steel industry, and he wasn't scared to invest lots of money. But I believe he didn't regret also. It's been improved as a good investment. We are also satisfied with his approach. We would be more than happy to see the Pakistani investors in the similar projects, and there are lots of projects.
So, Ambassador, have you been able to convince some of our, as you mentioned, that Pakistan is well known for its textile products and it exports a lot of textile products to Europe and European Union. Have you been able to persuade or pursue some of the textile investors in Pakistan to come to Bosnia and invest there? And as you said, that if they produce their textile products there and label them as made in Bosnia, they can benefit, they can have an access to the European market. So have you been able to convince people here?
I'm here since 5 months, not even. And during that time, there have been 2 groups of Pakistani businessmen which are visited our facilities there. We will have mid of May Sarajevo Business Forum, which is the main occasion exactly for the foreign investors to have an overview what and where they can invest. That I use also this possibility to give a message to the Pakistani investors to join that summit, 14 and 15 of May, 2 days, and all highest politicians from the regions, from Serbia, Croatia, Montenegro, from Turkey.
They'll participate in that?
Will participate in that. Our president will also be there. And they can have a clearly overview what can be done there. So I'm visiting also next week Sialkot, and then Lahore Chamber of Commerce, and then Gujarat. I've already been to Karachi, to the Karachi Chamber of Commerce, and also to the Federal Chamber of Commerce. And I hope that we will have also delegation from the chambers to convince themselves what can be done. So I'm holding on that path. I hope it will be successful.
Besides textile, what other products Pakistani investors or entrepreneurs can produce in Bosnia and then label them there and export to neighboring countries of Bosnia?
So we have lots of metal products which are state of the art. We have also wood industry, timber industry, furniture industry on very high level, all kind of minerals. Then beside that, we have a huge hydro plant.
Hydropower. You are producing from water.
Yes, it's the best way, most clean way.
And very cheap as well.
And very cheap as well. And then we exporting for another country. Unfortunately, you're too far away to export to you because you have
energy crisis. Yes. We have energy crisis.
Yes, that's right. But we could make a kind of TOT, transfer of technology, from our experts, because it's not just that you don't have efficient plants. You're losing till half till 70% of your already gained energy between grid and the household. That's all on transmission lines.
You are talking of the line losses.
Line losses. We can also help you on that. So I'm also actually working on it that our experts give you solutions for that issue. Despite of that, we have increase of tourism 20% per year. It's a booming. So out of the 4 million people which are inhabitants, we have like 800,000 tourists annually. So it's a very highly magnetic destination for the tourists all over the world. That could be also a possibility for Pakistani people, for example, to build up the hotel like Kuwaitis.
They built hotels there?
The hotels, for example, concrete Marriott is now in progress, but it's not sufficient. We need more hotels. There are hotels, but not. We need more, and we need a branded hotels. Or to build up the whole facilities. For example, Kuwaiti investors, they are building for themselves the villages, totally new village. Build the houses with all infrastructure, streets, and they're building on their own near Sarajevo. So I can imagine that Pakistani investors could go also on that way, because any tourism you cannot lose in Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's also a possibility, and not to be that focused on London.
Yes, but have you been able to explore the possibility of Pakistani investors of the entertainment industry, if they can come to Bosnia-Herzegovina and invest there and build hotels and to attract tourists there. So have you been in contact, or you plan to contact these segments of investors?
Definitely. I mean, despite of the Chamber of Commerce, I go also directly to the business people, such, for example, Marek Giryaz, and they know about that possibilities. I believe what we hear, what are we waiting is that one big and strong businessman from Pakistan achieve the first goal, and then they will follow.
Others will follow.
I'm sure. That's the every time the same agenda. Unfortunately, there are issues with India since independence of Pakistan. But I would say then talk with Mittal, because he has very deeply all information considering the investments in Bosnia, and he's doing very well. But I cannot refer to any Pakistani, unfortunately, to any Pakistani businessmen. They are very into the old common channels with UK or with Dubai. They are not
exploring the possibilities of investment in a country like Bosnia, which is located in the heart of Europe.
Yeah, that's it. They are too static.
Ambassador, you mentioned education, the field of education where Pakistan and Bosnia can cooperate. What kind of cooperation you are conceiving in the field of education?
Actually, I've been together also with Pakistani ambassador in Sarajevo. We achieved already one common MOU between NAST University in Islamabad and Sarajevo University for exchanging of students. So NAST is offering 30 scholarships for Bosnian students, and we are just about to implement the first 30 scholarships.
Students
from Bosnia
Sarajevo
to Pakistan, everywhere from Bosnia. To come here and do their master or PhD level in engineering or economic sciences. That would be the first step. The second step, I could imagine to exchange the professors, Pakistani professors and Bosnian professors among each other, and then to work together on scientific projects. So the first step has been already done, and there is also huge potential on that field of education. You see, in Bosnian we have our literacy rate by 99.5%. There is no illiteracy in our state, and we are very keen to have a proper and high education for our people. And why should it be all the time the same target, Europe or US? I believe, since I know NAST, they have a nice offer for engineering studies. I've been to their labs, and I saw their facilities. I'm pretty much sure that we can exchange our knowledge.
And besides that, what other universities or educational institutions in Pakistan can possibly cooperate with their counterparts in Bosnia? Are you exploring that also?
That will be. I'm just focusing now on NAST because I want to. We've already started with it, but I don't have any problem also to duplicate the same
with
approach
other
with another. Like I was already by Comstat University, and there are lots of high potential university in Pakistan.
But if the Pakistani students, if they are offered scholarships in your country, Bosnia, the language is a problem. Or mostly in Pakistani universities, the medium of education is English, and do you have that facility there so that there is no language barrier?
So we have 4 universities where they can study in English. We have a common programs with US and UK universities, so that's where they can study on the English language. On the other part, we can also offer them 1 year to
language course
to learn the Bosnian language, because if you speak Bosnian language, you can speak at least 4 languages at once. Serbian, Croatian, you can understand Bulgarian without any problems, Slovakian, because it's a Slav language, and all the Slav language, they have more or less the same linguistical base. So it would be
a great advantage.
Yes, great advantage.
Thank you, Ambassador. We'll take another short break and then we'll come back and talk more. नाज़रीन, एक और मुख्तसर ब्रेक लेते हैं और ब्रेक से वापसी के बाद हम पाकिस्तान में बोस्निया हर्ज़ेगोविना के सफ़ीर से मज़ीद बातचीत करेंगे पाकिस्तान और बोस्निया के मुस्तक़बिल के ताल्लुकात के हवाले से। Welcome back. Ambassador, could you tell us something more about your country? I mean, the population or the demographic complexion of Bosnia-Herzegovina. Generally, it is perceived here in Pakistan and this part of the world that Bosnia is predominantly a Muslim country. Is that true or it is not true?
If we speak about the demographics, we had back to 1991, we had our census. The last one was just 4 months back.
Census.
It was in October 2013, the last one. It's brand new, so we don't have our figures yet. But we approximately can say that we have a percentage of Bosnian Muslims more than 50%, like about 52%. The Serbs remained almost the same by 33%. The Croats decreased. Catholics, they are by 13-40%. Is not confirmed, it's just preliminary results. So that we have a majority, definitely majority of Bosnian Muslims. But our constitution has been made upon and according to Dayton, Ohio Agreement from end of '95. And it's about the 3 constitutive nationalities, Bosniaks, Serbs and Croats. And we have a democracy systems, and we have a special approach in sense of presidency. We have a rotation system of 3 presidents. Every 3 nations has its own president, and we rotate every few months. So that's and it's a laicist state. I mean, religion is not predominant.
Okay.
No religion all over 3 nations.
So your democracy or the democratic system that you are following in your country is a parliamentary system or it's a presidential system?
So we have a special form, you know. If I compare it with the Pakistani system, you are following more or less UK. On that path.
10 Downing Street model.
Yes, that's right. You can, for example, the Prime Minister in Pakistan has lots of powers, which President doesn't have. We don't have it. Prime Minister, in our case, doesn't. He has some
only ceremonial.
Most of ceremonial.
He's only ceremonial figure.
He has a budget and some other obligations, but he has not powers like a president to, for example, to directly appoint ambassadors, to have a powers among the military and so on. And that's the case in Bosnia. So the presidency has powers which are much more strong than the cabinet of prime minister.
Master, you're talking about communities or various population sections living in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Muslims are there, Serbs are there, and Croats. How to create a balance? As you said that the president is elected by through a rotational process. Mm-hmm. But then, to bring about a harmony and stability within the society, because there could be no tensions, there should not be any disharmony among the various communities living there. So how have you been able to achieve that?
So it has been achieved since hundreds and hundreds of years. I mean, Bosnia is an ancient country. We have those three religions since more than 1,000 years, and we never had the problems. So we had a first period of the Bosnian kingdom, where the state religion, we were Christians, but not the Catholics and not the Orthodox Christian. We have our own direction in the Christianity. After the Turks came to the Balkan Peninsula, we were part of Ottoman Empire, and we remained to live in peace. After it, we had the period of Austro-Hungarian monarchy, yes. And we did also very well there between two wars. It's been the first Yugoslavia, first kingdom of Slovenians, Serbs and Croats. After it, kingdom of Yugoslavia, also without issues. And then although that's the point where the Serb hegemony has been improved in Bosnian, and then we have a huge transaction of goods and properties from the Ottoman system to the Serbs, new class of the rich people, and then we have a Second World War with a short period of the rulership of Croatia. Afterwards, after the Second World War, we had Yugoslavia. During the Yugoslavian times,
Marshal Tito's time.
Yes, he had a concept. He knew what can happen if all of the parts of Yugoslavia follow their own path in sense of their nationality and their religion. So he was keen and very strong not to even mention it. Unity and brothership, that was the credo. And after his death, Slobodan Milošević, he took the power in the Communist Party of Yugoslavia and turned the army from Yugoslavian army to the pure Serbian army, and then it started
problems.
Yeah, it started first in Slovenia, then in Croatia, then in Bosnia.
But Master, how can you, or how are you creating the political balance? Because you said that president is rotated, but the representative of the various segments of society, the Muslims and the Serbs and others, how they are represented in the parliament or the elected system that you have?
There are elections. There are elections every 4 years, and upon upon how much.
But there is no quota system. For instance, in the parliament, how many seats are allocated to?
You need to have a certain quota to pass through. So I believe the quota is by 5%. to gain any seats. I'm not sure that I need to recall on it, recheck on it. But if there are no limitation in sense, if I give you theoretical example, if for example, Bosnian Muslims decide to choose a Croat for a president, he will get the most of the voices. So
okay, about the cabinet, your cabinet is represented
there are three cabinets.
Three cabinets.
Mm-hmm. Three. Each president has its own cabinet.
Okay.
So there are three cabinets, three chiefs.
Three regions. They have their own cabinets.
And they sit in the same. They all sit in the same building.
Right.
In Sarajevo.
Okay. Thank you, Ambassador. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
नाज़रीन, अभी हमने पाकिस्तान में बोस्निया हर्ज़ेगोविना के सफ़ीर से बात की है। उन्होंने बोस्निया की आज़ादी की तहरीक के हवाले से बात की। उन्होंने कहा कि हमने बहुत मुश्किल वक्त देखा है। अभी तक हम नफसियाती तौर पर उन ज़ख्मों को मुंदबिल नहीं कर सके या वो ज़ख्म भर नहीं सके जो कि उस वक्त उन्हें लगे थे। लेकिन उन्होंने कहा कि हम आहिस्ता आहिस्ता उस माजी को, बड़ा तल्ख माजी है, उसको फरामोश करते जा रहे हैं। उन्होंने कहा कि पाकिस्तान और बोस्निया हर्ज़ेगोविना के दरमियान सफ़ारती और सियासी सतह पर ताल्लुकात तो बहुत अच्छे हैं, लेकिन वो चाह रहे हैं कि इन ताल्लुकात को जो है माशी और तजारती सतह पर बेहतर बनाया जाए। उन्होंने कहा कि पाकिस्तानी ताजर जो हैं, ख़ास तौर पर टेक्सटाइल और दूसरे शोबों के ताजर, अगर वो बोस्निया में जाएं और वहाँ जाके वो इन्वेस्टमेंट करें और अपने कारखाने लगाएं तो उनको यूरोप की पूरी मार्केट जो है वो दस्तयाब होगी। उन्होंने बोस्निया हर्ज़ेगोविना के दाखिली सियासी निज़ाम पर बात की है। और इसी के साथ ये प्रोग्राम ख़त्म होता है। जावेद सिद्दीक़ को इजाज़त दीजिए। खुदा हाफ़िज़। Thank you, Ambassador. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
It was
all the best. Thank you.